96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Welcome back to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, your station for fresh news, smart talk all day. It is Friday, the 27th of October, 2023. It is Wear It Pink Friday, the last Friday in October. You may still have time to turn around, drive home, and find something pink to wear to stand in solidarity with those surviving and that have survived breast cancer and all cancers. Good morning, good morning. It's a Sports Friday with Eric Sawyer III. I wait arrival in studio. We've got a full show. This weekend is Rugby World Cup, and Mr. Sawyer is bringing a rugby expert with him so we can go through the Rugby World Cup stages. The finals are this weekend, New Zealand versus South Africa. We're going to talk a bit about that. And then I've asked the question, which sport is tougher, rugby or American football? We got a full NFL rundown this week. And then we've got some local news, sports news to get into. Before we get into the sports news, I want to touch on just one story in today's papers. Hopefully maybe I could sneak on to Guardian Radio AM this morning and we could talk some more news. I just want to touch on this story very quickly in today's papers. In today's Tribune on page 7, there's a story. Man receives 1 year jail on molesting 6-year-old. I'm going to just read it quickly. A 22-year-old man was sentenced to 1 year in prison yesterday after he was found guilty of molesting a 6-year-old girl 2 years ago. Kashawn Russell faced a charge of indecent assault. The victim identified yesterday that while staying at a relative's home watching videos sometime between May the 1st and 31st of 2021, Russell entered the room and rubbed her private parts under her dress. She also said that he put his genitals to her lips. During the sexual assault, the victim's grandmother with whom she lived was out with friends. The grandmother is now dead. When asked how the incident made her feel, the young girl said it made her feel bad. After reviewing the evidence, Magistrate Voight Evans found Russell guilty. Russell is to serve a 1-year prison term at the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services. I read that article just to say, 1 year? 1 year? Just 1 year. I don't even want to read on air again the acts that he committed. This is unacceptable. And we have to figure out how to show the legislators, that this is unacceptable. We need them to legislate better laws. We need them to legislate laws that prevent a sentence like this from happening. 1 year? Just 1 year. It's not sufficient. the legislators can create laws that provide sentences that are commensurate with the weight of the crime, the gravity of the crime. Good morning, caller. You're on the clock.
Yeah, good morning, Erin, and how you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, just quickly, I just wanted to comment because I read that article you read about the little 66-year-old,
Yes, sir.
and it's very disturbing, Erin, because it isn't like voices are not out in the public foil addressing these issues,
Yeah.
talking about these issues, trying to sensitize the nation on this issue.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing it for 20 years.
Absolutely.
For 20 years, Erin, and both governments seems that they have a great propensity, to allow these type of behavior to foster and fester into our society.
Mm-hmm.
And the sad reality, if they don't know, is this. 80% of all prison inmates who were throughout the United States of America, at some point in time, they were abused as a child.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at crime and whether we are serious enough about solving it, we are not. Because these children, once they grow up, they're going to become adults.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to have these things. But if they can't see the direct correlation to child abuse and this serious scourge of crime, then they have to be living in a bubble. They have to be living in a bubble. But for 20 years, pushing these things, and the only thing you could have gotten was the Child Protection Act passed, which in its present state, if you were to look at that particular legislation, that act, Erin, and you compare and you look at the legislation throughout the United States that they use to protect dogs,
Mm-hmm.
why not us just borrow that particular legislation that the U.S. used to protect animals and use it to apply to protect children? Our children will be more safe under that particular legislation.
Yes, sir.
It's great what's happening in this country.
I just want to let the audience know that we're speaking to Cleaver Duncombe, father's rights and children's rights advocate. He's been working over the last 20 years on these issues. When I started advocating, he was also on the ground working. Thank you very much, Cleaver Duncombe. Good morning, caller. Sorry about that. Let's go. Good morning, caller. Good morning, caller. Let's try 1, 2. Still there?
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Erin,
Yes, sir.
I can ask you this, but it can be a joking thing. You and Cleaver, did you all had your glasses on when you all read that? Erin, that is absurd.
Yep.
Erin, man, come on. 1 year?
No, and I think we, the people, should just say to them, no, it's not acceptable. That's not an acceptable penalty.
You know what I want to hear now? Let me hear any politician who can speak out against that and say something. Mm-hmm. Because it is crazy. A 6-year-old and you getting 1 year? Or maybe, I think what they said, you said that was from 2000 and when?
The offense occurred within the month of May 2021.
You know what they say? Oh, man, he done spent 2 years, so, But come on, man. Come on.
Yeah.
1 year. What deterrent that it will help steer others from doing that? At least he should get about 20 years off the top, and I'm serious with that. I'm serious with that because that's crazy. But any politician, I want to hear now what the church going to say about it. Mm-hmm. 1 year. Erin, it is sad in our country. Thank you.
No, man, absolutely. Thank you very much. Let's go to the next caller. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Miss Greene.
Morning.
The word is disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Greene, America around here singing, but we's a Christian nation. That's how we start off.
Mm-hmm.
Me, the tourist, or the survey driver, round the bombers bringing the tourists from the airport, taxi drivers sing this thing. It's a beautiful little country. We's a Christian nation. That's part of our sales pitch.
Mm-hmm.
And we pay these legislators. It's the taxpayers' money. We pay these judges and magistrates. It's the taxpayers' money. You can imagine that magistrate coming home and hearing their 6-year-old
No,
little
no, no.
daughter.
We're not going to critique the judges, right? We got to be very careful here. That's why I wanted to focus. That's why I focus on the legislatures, because we got this it's a peculiarity of the Westminster system that you are not to critique judges in that way, right? And so I want to focus on the legislators, because the legislators can create laws and provisions that clearly, explicitly state what the parameters of the sentence is, right? What the scope of the sentence can be, from a minimum to a maximum. It just... Let's go to the next caller. Good morning, caller. Sorry for the pause.
Holidays talking always along with you, Erin.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
We need justice, law, and order in the Bahamas here.
Yes.
And I don't care what people say, but we got it. We need it. It's what I want to say, right, when it comes to the court, right, especially magistrate court.
Now, like I said, let's be careful in our critique this morning. Yes, sir.
What I'm going to say is facts and truth.
I know, but let's talk about improving infrastructure, improving protocols, and let's talk about mechanisms that can minimize behaviors and...
Okay, talking about improving.
Yeah, okay.
What I think what they should do, the court should do, when they put out a warrant for somebody, put it in red writing so it would be able be easy to be found. Don't put it in black writing. Don't have the court, the magistrate, or the judge and have his or her people writing in black when you're putting out warrant for somebody. That's indecent.
I got you. They need to design their communications in a way that highlight the urgency of this particular communication. It's a warrant, and I got you, Brayman.
Okay. Thank you.
No, man, thank you very much. I read a couple of texts here before I transition to the sports news. Great show as usual. You get 1 year for messing with a 6-year-old. In which universe is that enough years in jail? I will look into my crystal ball. The public will have a harsher sentence for him when he comes out of jail. We discourage vigilante justice, but we interrogate the circumstances that seem to cause people to resort to it. Another text, are we serious, Erin? It seems like across the board, these sentences are so absurd. It apparently is par for the course to commit heinous offenses and receive a tap on the wrist. I also question the policy of plea deals for sexual offenses, right? I question whether we should apply plea deals to sexual offenses at all. And then I wonder, I need to read the provisions, because I would, if I were in charge, plea deals would be in an instance where you suspect someone of committing a large number of crimes, but you only have evidence, sufficient evidence, for one or two or a small percentage of those crimes. And you put pressure on them, trying to convince them that you have enough evidence to put them to jail for every single crime. But if they work with you with a plea deal, they could get a lesser sentence. You knowing that you don't have sufficient evidence to prosecute for every single crime, and them not knowing how much evidence you have. Right? That's how I've seen the plea deal used most effectively. Or that's when it has most value. Good morning, caller. Good morning, caller.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Good morning. How you doing? Good morning to your producers.
Yep, good morning, good morning.
Yeah, you're talking to sports, right?
I want to read these last couple of texts, and then I'm diving right back into sports. It's just that this matter was so important that...
Yeah, it is important. Right. I don't know. We have to see stronger legislation to protect our children.
Yeah.
Definitely, that's something people who listen to your show, MPs and Bahamians, when you get into the convention next month,
Yeah.
they need to throw that out there.
Absolutely, this needs to be on the table.
How, with my party coming to power, how are you going to protect my people, my children? Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And what legislation I want you to put forward? Put it to the party.
Yeah, and you see, rumors are swirling that marital rape is going to be on the table for discussion at the convention, right?
Okay, why you put the church exactly?
And listen, hold on, let me finish.
Go ahead.
And I think this is interesting because in commentary, right? Like pop up outside a meeting commentary with the media. MP Wayne Monroe has on several occasions responded to questions about issues by indicating that he's not prepared to respond because it's not a matter that was in the blueprint for change, right? So I can understand the PLP saying, okay, since some of our cabinet or MPs say they're not prepared to address the matter because it wasn't in the blueprint for change, let's put it on the party agenda, right?
Right.
A. B, I would like the PLP to throw out for consideration this thought that the attitudes that support the idea that a man cannot rape his wife, right?
Right.
Are those attitudes also driving the belief that a man has access sexually to any body within the household? And I mean any physical body within the household. See, I want to know if they're seriously considering these issues or if they're using them.
And the race is this. You got a woman who are boyfriend, you know, type of behavior they are, but they live in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And they live in the house not only with their own children,
but with, the children.
Other children from different men.
Yeah.
So the man going to say, I ain't going to abuse mine, but I'm going to abuse the other one.
It's possible that's what's happening.
Of course, that's psychological.
Yeah.
Right. So, but in closing, though, I want to get to my little sport because I never get the call back.
Mm-hmm.
You ask what is different, what's better than American football than rugby? Eh?
Yeah, what's tougher? Rugby or American football?
Oh, I know. I think American football is tough, boy. You see me breaking neck and things.
You ain't never watched no rugby, eh?
Yeah, man, I love rugby. What you mean?
Okay,
rugby is tough.
We could get into it because I think rugby is tougher.
Yeah. Imagine actually what channel championship he carried.
Okay, yeah.
Write that down. Don't forget, please.
I got you. Absolutely. Thank you, Pumpkin Eater.
Okay.
All right, let me get into the last of these texts and we're going to transition to sports. Erin, am I hearing you correctly? 1 year, our system is a joke. What message is this sending to those other perverts? I've been saying this for years, Erin. Things won't change until it starts to hit home with our legislators. Another text, great show as usual. I don't think with all of these adult women prepared to negotiate sexual intimacy that this should be happening. And what the gentleman said is that there are too many adult women that are prepared to engage in sex work or transactional sexual intimacy for adult men to be targeting minor girls for sexual pleasure, gratification, or for an exertion of power. I'm going to leave that right there. I just know I want to thank you guys and thank you, Pumpkin Eater, for allowing me to open up the space on the show to this particular subject. And here's why. Because when you open the floor, those stakeholders that take this work seriously, they step into the space. And so I'm glad that we did that. And we heard from Cleaver Duncombe this morning, who has been doing youth advocacy, child advocacy, and father advocacy work for over 2 decades. Producer, let's go to a break. When we get back from the break, We've got sports news from the Pan Am Games, news about the Bahamas Bowl, news about the National Sports Awards, regatta, flag football, rugby, and NFL. You guys, you're on the clock with Erin Greene. Stay tuned to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. We'll be right back.
Boy, why you look so mashed up like clothes at the washer?
No, boy, just a hard day, boy.
Hard day. What happened? The breakfast lady ran out of tuna and gritty.
We need to start joking about everything, you know. This serious, boy. This real serious, boy.
Boy, what's serious? Tell me.
All right, well, today, boss gave us, boy, one big contract. And nobody else get a chance and nobody say nothing.
Boy, you know that ain't right. You know government contracts ain't supposed to go that way.
Yeah, but nobody's saying nothing. Boss man just tell people to sign the papers. Then he send me to meet his boy downtown and collect this envelope.
You need to tell somebody. You need to become a whistleblower.
You know I's a real man, but I never blow no whistle. I be drunk all my life and junk, you know.
No way. A whistleblower is someone who tells people what they see when they see something wrong happening at work.
But I ain't no whistleblower and I ain't no snitch. I still white there, you know.
Boy, ain't nobody can know it's you. All you gotta do is call Crime Stoppers, or you could text them from inside the Crack Crime Bahamas app. They don't ask about you, and your call goes straight through to Miami, so nobody know you is. And if you text, your message get mixed up like Kong Salad.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
The Grand Bahama News is available every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian. Buy your local paper at Freeport, Western Bakery, DeGregory's Fine Foods, and Bellevue Gifts. Want to reach your Grand Bahama customers? Then call Barefoot Marketing at 827-4578 or message them for ad rates via their Facebook page. Advertising opportunities now include classified ads too. Keep up with all the latest Grand Bahama news in the Nassau Guardian newspaper every Tuesday.
Good morning and welcome back to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, your station for fresh news, smart talk all day. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning. How are you?
I am good, thank you.
That's great.
How you do?
I'm well. A bit tired, but well.
Absolutely. I'm noticing a pattern where somehow you can't come into studio after the 49ers lose a game.
No, it just so happens that just how the cookie crumbles, man.
I got you.
The cookie crumbles today, and I happen to be just slightly busy. We can hear the background.
No.
Busy.
I understand. Absolutely. You're a hardworking man, and we appreciate any time that you can take off from your job to join us and learn me some sports news. I really, really appreciate it. So I had some stories. I just wanted to briefly run through the headlines because in your absence, I just took a time to focus on a very important story in the news today. And so we just...
the Sardians lost on Sunday night?
No,
what are you talking about?
No, I mean, that's not what we were talking about.
That's not important, but, that's expected.
The tears are welling up in my eyes as we speak, sir. The only thing that holds me is that the 49ers and the Sardines have the same record.
That's the all Sardian fans telling me. Oh, we both 5-2.
Yeah.
See, I'm going to play meaningful football in January, and you're not.
Listen, Mr. Teller of the future. So let me run through these stories quickly. In this week's paper is a story, Bahamas Bowl in search of new location this year. And in today's paper, we learned that Charlotte will temporarily host the Bahama Bowl, which is expected to return to the Bahamas in 2024. Let me just say that this is an intricate story because it's tied to the repair of the stadium, right? And I just want to say to those in power, this week we're talking about the sense of urgency and whether government actors can move at the pace of developing, B, their own developmental timelines. Can they move at the pace required? And have they considered not just those individuals and organizations, but even the government's work, the other arms of the public service that's impacted negatively by their inability to move at a reasonable pace? This is a particular issue for me because in my research I learned that the Hometown Lenders Bahamas Bowl is just one of the 17 bowl games owned and operated by ESPN Events. This was our in. This was how I was going to take.
This is how we get out.
This is how I was going to take pork into the world. Right? And so we have to ensure that we are managing all of the parts at the same time so that no element is left out or negatively impacted, like the Bahamas Football Association. The Flag Football League is I got a story about that, just up and running. You know, and we need to ensure that systems can move smoothly. Let me transition right into that flag football story. Bahamas wins its first exhibition game against NFL flag Miami Dolphins. So
yes, the Dolphins getting beat left, right. Sorry, Sardines getting beat left, right, and center.
Listen, sir, look at how gentlemanly and polite they are to let the Bahamas. Our guys played really well. The Bahamas won its first exhibition game 21-20 against the NFL flag Miami Dolphins adult tournament team at the Roscoe A.L. Davies soccer field. The scrimmage took place on the NFL Flag Bahamas Family Fun Day and Talent Showcase. It was a great event. The Bahamas got on the Mikael Bethel, who plays wide receiver, scored the first touchdown and got the Bahamas on the scoreboard. The team was composed of players from New Providence, Abaco, and Freeport. Bethel, the team's wide receiver, is from Freeport. He said it was a great experience and to start off their inaugural game, I mean, not the inaugural, but their first game, excellent. We say to them, it's a great start, and we look forward to more. Now, football fans, because you got to you have all the flag football fans and all the football fans already on the benches.
Yeah, man. We all on board when it comes to flag football, because not everybody can play in the NFL. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Flag football is a great way to keep yourself in good shape,
Yeah.
Cardiovascular workout. You don't have to get the heavy contact and tackling. And you still can do a little bit of trash talking, which is the Bahamian way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great master's sport, right? For serious athletes who are aging, it's a great way to compete at an intense level. So there's another quick story.
Correct.
Nominees roll in for the National Sports Award. The National Sports Awards is less than 2 weeks away, and the names of the top nominees have started to roll in. The sports presentation is scheduled to take place on the front lawn of the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium at 6:30 p.m. on Saturday.
I wonder why the front lawn and not inside. Why?
Why?
Because they're doing renovations.
Well, because it could be cool. You have free AC outside.
Yeah, I guess so.
Absolutely. 3 out of the 26 categories have been revealed. The nominations for the Prime Minister's Cup Award are in. The individual not only figuratively wears the national flag in their hearts, but also encourages teammates and fellow Bahamians to follow suit. They call it the Prime Minister's Cup because fellow Bahamians,
Of course.
Minister, that's you.
Oh, boy.
Minister, that's you.
That brings back some memory.
Hey, hurdler Devin Charlton was nominated from the athletics sporting discipline. Other candidates include tennis players Justin Roberts, Marvin Rule, Miami Marlins star Jazz Chisholm Jr., Indiana Pacers shooting guard Shavano Buddy Hield, former WNBA MVP, currently WNBA player Jonquel J.J. Jones, equestrian Anna Camille Vlasov, and builder Terrian Kemp. So they are the nominees for that award. Then there's the National Team of the Year award, and there's the Community Sports Award, a number of awards. Check out the Nassau Guardian, 25th of October, to read more details. We want to say congratulations to Cynthia Ramming as she retires, the former judo national champion, whose career debuted in 2009. She represented the country at 16 continental open competitions, 6 world championships, 5 Grand Prix, 4 continental championships and Grand Slams, and 1 Commonwealth Games. Her final match was in August 2022 at the Commonwealth Games, Birmingham. We say congratulations to a stellar career.
Kudos. Yeah, man. But that's 14 years.
Yeah, man.
14 years, don't raise your voice too hard, huh? Because, hiya!
One slip of the ankle. One little slip. Sweep.
One crack.
You're gone.
One crack. Your knee gone.
Absolutely. Judo, along with Aikido and a number of martial arts, are really great for critical thinking training because these sports teach you how to use your opponent's momentum, right, to subdue them.
Mm-hmm.
These are great sports. Okay, it is time. I threw out the question, Mr. Sawyer. Which sport is tougher, rugby or American football? And I've got a text here already that says American football is like a pillow fight compared to rugby.
All right, watch this. There's a saying in rugby, you know.
Yeah.
The saying goes that in rugby, firstly, they don't wear protective cups.
Yeah.
Down low.
Yeah.
So the saying is, I go now. It's rugby is all balls and just sport. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
The point is,
rugby is tougher.
They don't wear guards. They wear one little helmet across their head.
In fact, it's more like an air guard to keep the ears flat against the head.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no protective cup. It's just you out there in your best underwear you could buy from Walmart or Target or Sandy's or Shane.
You scrubbing the grass in short shorts.
Yeah, short shorts and some cleats, and that's it.
Yeah. I get a text that it says, it's different. Soccer requires a great deal more endurance. In rugby, they have more stoppages, and they also make more long passes to move the ball. On the other hand, rugby is much harder on the body because they're getting hit hard as part of fair play. A text, I was comparing it to American football. Rugby is definitely, without a doubt, rougher and tougher than American soccer. American soccer, though, requires an insane degree of endurance and strength, right? So you have to maintain your strength over an hour, right?
You know, soccer is the only sport. But no, sorry, I wouldn't say the only sport, but soccer only allows for 3 substitutions all game.
Yeah, and once you out, you out.
And once you out, you out.
You can't come back in.
But that is 3 substitutions. There's 6 timeouts for a game in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
3 timeouts a half for a game in the NFL.
2.
And so you're allowed 3 substitutions.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the NFL, I mean, they can substitute from play to play.
Yeah.
You know, some players require
they have a specific player for that. Yeah.
They require a heavy line up front so they can run the ball. Some players require for the wide receivers to come on. Some require for the tight ends to come on. So they have different sets and different looks and the substitutions all game.
Mm-hmm. And the sport is very similar to football, right? The team with the ball must move the ball up the field in phases of play, like you have downs
and pass it backwards.
Right, you're right. You can't pass it forward. It has to be backward or a lateral pass, which is similar to football because other players can pass the ball in football other than the quarterback, but they can't pass the ball forward. Those other players can make a lateral pass or a backward pass, right? They have 2 groups of players, the forwards and the backs. There are 8 forwards, the hooker, the prop, the second row flanker, and number 8, and 7 backs. scrum half, fly half, inside center, outside center, wingers, and a fullback. But Mr. Sawyer, I see we got a call on the line. We're going to take that caller.
Are you on the radio now?
Good morning. You on the radio now?
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Greene.
Morning, Sparky. You ever played rugby?
In regards to Papa's comment,
Uh-huh.
first of all, let me tell Papa. Papa need no sports by sitting down and watching it.
Now, Sparky.
He never been on the field.
Those are fighting words, Sparky.
He never been on the field. Because I wake up twice in the recovery room in the Princess Margaret Hospital for playing American football.
Okay.
Twice. I gone down in the ambulance. In fact, one time, me and another fellow in the same place going down on the same ambulance on a Sunday.
What?
And wake up in the recovery room and with our parents standing over. That's playing American football. Now, I took a chance playing American football with helmet and pads. But I was never man enough to go even try to play rugby on the Eastern Parade. When I used to see them playing rugby. Me? Only cleats and bathing suit and T-shirt.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Tell Papa, look here. Tell him sit in the corner and wait till somebody call him, yeah?
I got you.
But he ain't know nothing but no sport.
Thank you,
but
Sparky.
No.
No. That ain't why. We take what you said, Sparky, and we know that you wasn't being disgusting. That's just sports talk. We got that. Pumpkin Eater. Sparky saying it can't be American football is tougher. I agree with Sparky. I watch these, but so let's go through quickly, just very quickly, the Rugby World Cup 2023. In the group stage this go round was France, Australia, South Africa, Tonga, New Zealand, Georgia, the country, Scotland, Portugal, Italy, England, Wales, Namibia. Way to go, Namibia. Argentina, Fiji, Ireland, Japan, Uruguay, Romania, Chile, Samoa. I know South Africa is also on the African continent. Way to go, South Africa. Who made it to the quarterfinals? Wales and Argentina. Argentina beat them out. England versus Fiji. England won. New Zealand versus Ireland. New Zealand won. South Africa beat France in the quarterfinals. In the semifinals, New Zealand advanced 44-6 over Argentina. They the All Blacks, the Kiwis. And South Africa bested England 16-15. So Saturday, tomorrow, New Zealand plays South Africa for the finals for the World Cup. And in the bronze third place match, Argentina versus England today at 3 p.m. You can just search Rugby World Cup 2023 for the game times and the stations airing it. But I think if you have Flow, you should be able to catch those games.
If you don't have Flow, I'm sure I can be on at the cricket club. It'll be on at the, I forget the place name.
If you have a British friend...
Place in Cable Beach.
Yeah, if you have a British friend, go find them. They could be watching the World Cup. Trust me. This is huge all over the world. And I can tune in because I want to see the All Blacks perform their haka. And every Bahamian athlete should watch that because we need our own ceremonial ritual to start these games, to present our athletes to the world. Okay, I got a text here. Someone say, Sparky is your cooler pumpkin eater. Nah, man, these guys know each other. And it's sports talk. Okay, Mr. Sawyer, we got a few minutes left, and it's that time. I think we have decided correctly rugby is tougher than American football. You just watch these. You ever watch a tree run through a forest and pull up other trees while it running? That's what rugby is.
One thing about rugby, listen, you got to have a different level of pain tolerance.
Yeah.
You got to be able to take. I'm good. You got to be able to take pain and punishment as a part of the
normal play
of the game.
Yeah.
Because it's something similar to hockey. Like, I don't get how you'd want somebody skating into you at 40 miles an hour, and that's a legal hit. If you hit me at 40 miles an hour with a stick, yeah, man, all game I out for you.
All right, let's
But when you decide that that's what you want to do, and this is the mindset that you...
I like rugby. I think we need to introduce rugby into the high schools, and I wonder if this is something that young men, in particular, young women as well, because there are a number of women's rugby teams across the world, whether this is something that we could use to help young men sort of process their energy.
Channel it somewhere.
Right? And find a place to sit that warrior spirit that's obviously rising up in a lot of our young men. Let's go into...
Let me tell you something.
Yeah, go on.
Let me tell you something else with rugby. As much of a warrior as you are in rugby, or you can find somebody that can hit
harder than you.
Even harder than you.
Absolutely.
You got to understand, life ain't all about,
Yes, sir.
Bark. You got to be able to bite.
Absolutely. Let's slide into the NFL Week 7 results and Week 8 lineup. This week, Saints versus Jaguars. Jaguars beat the Saints 24-31. Browns bested the Colts. Chiefs.
Oh, that was last week. Yeah.
Week 7. Chiefs bested the Chargers 31-17. Of course, Vikings eked one out against the 49ers 22-17. The Dolphins took a loss against the Eagles 31-17.
Yes, they did.
We see it, the Ravens, Odell Beckham Jr., 38-6. I think they are 5-2 as well. Is it the Eagles and the Chiefs are the only teams holding 6-1 records this year, this week? Chiefs,
so far.
Chiefs go into week 8 at 6-1. 49ers 5-2. Dolphins 5-2. I'm looking for this. All right, all I could see, Panthers 0-6. Panthers, why y'all don't try out Michael Strawn? Try out Mike Strawn. See if he could put some...
The audience have the nerve to say. They're going to say, because we beat the Panthers, we saying something. Because we beat the Broncos, we saying something. You ain't beat nobody else for the season. The two teams you all played who have decidedly winning records, both the Bills and the Eagles, handed your whole game right back in your face. So now what?
You really hurting my heart, sir.
Yeah, but it's true.
You really hurting my heart. Eagles and Chiefs, they're the only two teams at 6-1. 49ers sitting with the Dolphins. However, Dolphins are at the top of their division. What about the 49ers? Are they still holding the top spot?
Yeah, they are. We had a bad game. Purdy, of course, those of you that listening, he sustained a concussion during the game, and you could look at the stats of his game before and after that said concussion. He was a completely different player. Hopefully he doesn't think that we have a bye next week. We have the Bengals, yes, a very tough team that's kind of catching up, offensively especially. The defense was always formidable, but I have faith in Sam Darnold. He's been a veteran in the league long enough. And our system, of course, is a good plug-and-play system. Plug in somebody else, and that quarterback can be a star. So hopefully we do what we normally do, get out to a good lead, 23-7, 20-3, something along those lines. And then we let our defense peel back its ass and get at the quarterback. Finally, Steve Wilkes, our coordinator, was in meetings this week with Kyle Shanahan, our head coach, because I had to ask him, how does the number one defense in the league last year only have 2 sacks this year? 2 or 3 sacks, I think.
Yeah, all the way in week 7.
That's unheard of for a 49er defense.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is we can let go. We can let go with Sam Darnold and call it a day.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. Patriots are traveling to Miami to play the Dolphins this weekend. Dolphins are 5-2. Patriots are 2-5. I don't want to let those stats fool me. Can the Dolphins beat the Patriots in this warmer weather down here on the side of the continent?
Yeah, I as much as I hate to say it, the Saudis should win this weekend. I really hate to say it because, I'm not a Saudi fan, but the Patriots are quite not the same team that they used to be.
What about the Cowboys? Oh, yeah, we could see that. In fact, I was taking a look at Belichick's, that's Belichick, right? Belichick's record with Brady and without Brady. And let's just say that Belichick should just pretend like without Brady doesn't exist.
That's what he just needs to do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand, on the Patriot way was Tom Brady. And as sad as that is for Patriot fans out there to hear,
Yeah.
Bill Belichick was not a good coach before he had Brady. He was a good defensive coach with the Giants, and that's about it. He was not a good coach when he coached the Jets. He was not a good coach when he coached the Browns. And now it's evident now that he doesn't have Tom Brady as his quarterback to save the day.
Well, let me ask you this: does this mark the end of an era when coaches and star players won NFL championships?
No good. Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy have at least 3 to win in the future.
Okay.
But as it stands for the man known as Bill Belichick, it should be, it needs to be his final season.
All right. Another quick question: why there technically no bye week this week?
There is a bye week this week.
I mean, when I look at the stats, nobody's resting this week.
No? All right. Well, I mean, just their choice.
Okay,
just
so
their choice not to rest.
the teams determine that the teams have a say in when they get plugged into
Of course.
Okay.
Come on.
So why would all the teams decide not to rest this week? Is that after assessing team performance coming off the bye week?
Well, for those teams that were on buys last week, like the Bengals,
Yeah, they don't do it again. Yeah.
I guess it's as good as mine, honestly. Maybe they want to play for Halloween. I don't know.
Well, I'm thinking about momentum, right? Because a bye week will either boost your momentum or diminish your momentum. So I imagine that the teams that did have a bye week available, right? Like they could have taken this week, have determined that they don't want to stop the momentum that they've garnered so far.
Yeah, but a bye week helps injuries.
Well, no, that's a great point. Because on the flip side, right? If I'm looking at the teams that I'm going to potentially play in this bye week, I may not want to give them. I may sit with, right? So if I'm looking at the team that I would sit with in the bye week because we're not playing each other, I may not want to let them rest.
That's true, but it's the luck of the draw, and depending on your team and the amount of traveling that you've done up to this point, sometimes a bye week is necessary.
Yeah, it's the best thing for you.
Reset and get everything necessary.
Yeah, but it hasn't helped the Panthers so far. We hope that after they come off of this week, that they could put a win on the board. I got a text here from one of my favorite texters. It said, please tell your co-hosts they are called the canned sardines. This boy said you can't even call us fresh sardines. I like it. I don't mind, texter. I don't mind the roughness because it ain't as rough as rugby. I can tell you that. It is not as rough as rugby, and I can live with that. Mr.
I understand of all the things in the world, you want to be a sardine fan.
Of course. What you mean? Listen, let me just run through a couple of quick headlines before we end the show. Of course, the Bills beat the Bucks 24-18 last night, which leaves Bills with 5-3 and Bucks at 3-4. Man, Bucks were holding their division last year. At 3-4, you think they can take division champion? They could win their division this season at the end of the season?
No, the Saints should win.
Okay.
The Saints should win in the end.
All right, so a couple of local headlines and some international headlines. Elite Girls Basketball League back in action tomorrow. Cricket World Cup defending champion England loses to Sri Lanka again. And then, of course, NBA season has opened up. DeAndre Ayton scores 4 points with 3 steals and a block, grabs 12 rebounds as he starts with the Portland Trail Blazers. I like the Blazers. Remember Clyde the Glide?
Yeah, it's the best month of the year.
Yeah.
You got the World Series starting tonight.
There you go.
You got the World Series starting tonight. You have the
NFL coming up in this weekend. Rugby today and tomorrow. World Cup cricket all week.
NFL,
NFL, NBA. It may be the most wonderful time of the year. UB Mingo's turning the largest win ever in international play. It's just going to be exciting. Islands of the Bahamas launch its destination scholarship. It's sports all around, Mr. Sawyer. What a time to be a Bahamian who loves sports.
Sports, man.
It's almost time for the best of the best. Heel
We got
8 and make
NBA
season
World
debut.
Series, NFL going on, hockey going on. This is it.
There you go. Mr. Sawyer, thank you for joining me this morning. Next week, we can run through the results of World Cup Rugby, follow up on NFL. You be good too, sir. You be good too. Thank you.
Be good, be safe.
Will do. I'm going to wrap up my knees. It's porking time. You guys have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, Mr. Sawyer, for joining me on this Sports Friday with Eric Sawyer III. And thank you to the callers and texters who contributed to the conversation in the first half of the show. We need to keep these conversations alive. We need to let the legislators know what we think is important to us. You guys have a great day. Most importantly, stay tuned. Guardian Radio AM with C.A. Nuri is up next.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.